Hello everyone, welcome to Recursive Gaming, and in this I'm going to be giving you a quick intro with some information that's very important. I forgot to put it in the normal video for today, so I want to show it to you real quick. At this point, you should definitely be able to do two things that you need to be doing every day. Well, one that you do every day, and then one that's really important you need to do right away. So anyways, you can start doing this pretty early on. As you complete these areas of the story, these open up. Okay, so you can go ahead and come in here and do these expeditions daily. We're going to click complete, and we get some really nice stuff, guys. Look at all this stuff that we got for free just for spending a little bit of energy. Okay, come in here, complete this as well. Same thing. Lots of nice free stuff. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to come in here, click explore, and then you can just click auto select. You can honestly use anybody, but I prefer, see here it says 1 to 5 star, and this is 2 to 6 star. Okay, so you're getting more rewards for the higher level places. So I suggest going from right to left when you do auto select, so that way it spins your or allocates your strongest people to where they're going to do the most good and get you the most rewards. Okay, so go from right to left, click on explore, click on auto select, and it's going to put your strongest people in. Click explore. That's it. Super easy. 8 hours later, you get lots of free stuff. Okay, so do this in the morning when you wake up. You can probably do it twice a day if you time it right. Come in here, same thing. Auto select. We're going to explore. Perfect. So do this every day. Really important. Okay, next. At this point, actually, as far as episode 2, actually, I forgot to put it in episode 2, but on episode 2, you probably should have unlocked clans and been able to join a clan. This is important, and you need to start doing this right away for several reasons. First and foremost, because you get lots of nice free stuff. Secondly, because of the clan shop, which is where you can spend the points you get from doing these defense missions every single day on really, really nice stuff. Okay, so we're going to look for a clan. How do you find an active clan? You can't just join any clan and get all the benefits. Your clan has to be active, playing with all of its members every day to get the most benefit. If you get lucky enough to join a very active clan, then you're going to have way more benefits than other people who don't. It's a very, very big difference between an active clan and an inactive one as far as the benefits that you get. So it's worth spending the time trying to find an active one. Come in here, you can look at the clan members. Even if all these guys are active, I would shy away from them because they only have 27 members. Okay, so I'm looking for one that's almost full. Okay, we click on clan info. All right, and here we can see contribution levels for region defense, battles fought. We can see stats. There's only 2 people that have stats. Okay, the region defense, the highest level boss defeated is level 71. Seasons active, they've been active for 238 seasons. They're level 20. Let's see. That's it. I'm actually not seeing a whole lot of stuff here. Looks like only 2 members are active. I'm only seeing stats for 2 members. There's really not enough active people in this clan for me to want to join them. Most of the members seem to be inactive. Okay, so you click right here. Okay. Do the same thing. All right. If you're not having any luck, right? So Tree Crew actually seems pretty good. That looks pretty strong. He's got 42 members. Nice and friendly, looking for active friendly players. Clan info. I only see 3 active on region defense, nothing in clan conflict, and only 2 active on dimension defense. They're level 18, active for 268 seasons. I'm not so sure they're active enough with the region defense for me to want to join. I'm not seeing a lot of activity here. So let's keep going. We'll check this one. I don't speak that language, but if they're active, I don't see why not. Look at this. This is what I'm talking about. This might be a clan worth joining. It's not as much as you'd like to see, but it's at least better than what we've seen so far. They're only active for 72 seasons. So they're fairly new, right? They're a lot newer, and it does seem like they have more active members. This might be worth joining. It's still not as active as I'd like. You'd prefer to see 30 or 40 active members, honestly. And in that, I only saw 15 or so in the Dimension Defense. So I'd prefer to see more than that. I'm going to keep looking. If you're not having luck there, which it can be difficult because it's completely random what it shows you, and it does show you old inactive guilds. You can come here into chat, go to the first one or the second one, or you can go to all of them, and you can say, looking for an active guild. Please send invite. Okay, so we're gonna actually select all, copy, right? We're gonna send that. Please, it says looking for an active guild, please send invite, right? And then I go to 2. We'll do the same thing. We'll do this for the first couple of chat rooms. Click on this, paste, right? And then I'll go to the third one. We'll just do the first 3, okay? All right, and I will let that happen. All right, so channel 1, we sent that. Channel 2, we sent that. Channel 3, we sent that. And now I'm going to go back and sit in channel 1 with all the active players and just watch the chat. They say interesting stuff sometimes. Sometimes they'll recruit in this channel, stuff like that. So now, if any of them are active and they're looking to recruit, they'll send you a recruitment offer. It will show up here. Okay, so I will check back here in a couple of hours. If I see a recruitment offer and it looks like an active clan, you do the same thing. Click on clan info and check them out. You can also check back in the chat and keep sending that in the channel until you get a response. So eventually you'll get a hit. Somebody will add you here and then you come and accept the offer. If you're not seeing this after trying that for a little while, then you can come here and do this the old-fashioned way. So that is how you join a clan. Remember to do your excursions or explorations every day like I showed you. Join a clan. I should have put that in episode 2, but and here it is in episode 3, and I made sure I put it in the intro so it's the first thing you see. Let's go ahead and get started with the rest of this episode. Hello everyone, welcome to Recursive Gaming and day number 3, or episode number 3, in our Monsters Super League free-to-play guide for new players. Alright, let's go ahead and get started. I wanted to start off by saying that I guess I didn't pay close enough attention, or I wasn't able to click on the rewards, or just whatever, but what I was concerned about was not a problem. They kept the tickets. You can actually click on them here. So if I had just clicked, I would have seen this is the Arthur 3 Evolve ticket, an Evolve ticket that can be used to evolve Arthur. So the reason this is important, and the reason you want to pick Arthur in your contract, especially Light Arthur, is because you don't have to use these to evolve the Water Arthur you get from this quest. Okay, you can still use these to evolve the Light Arthur after your week 2 Light Arthur comes in. So you can get a free Tier 3 or Evolve 3 Arthur, and it's just amazing. That's awesome. Totally amazing. One of the, actually the only way I can think of to get a Light Dark, one of the better Light Darks in the game, at Evo 3 for free. That's completely amazing. So definitely do this quest, but hold on to these. Okay, so to complete this, evolve an Astromon to evolution level 2. It doesn't say evolve Arthur to level 2. You can evolve any Astromon to level 2 to get this, you don't have to use this ticket to evolve Arthur is what I'm saying. You can hold on to this and wait for Light Arthur, and you can still complete this quest and just hold on to this. You just evolve any Astromon and it will be able to be completed. So I already earned this, but I haven't picked it up yet because I wanted to show this to you guys. We're going to complete floor 5 of the Starstone dungeon. Okay, so we already did that. I completed floor 5 of the Starstone dungeon, and then evolve an Astromon to evolution level 2. So we're going to go ahead and do that right now. Let's go to Monsters. And here I'm going to talk about which Astromon I'm going to evolve. I would make a Mona level 2 if I could, but I need one more copy of Mona to make an Evo 2 Mona, so we're going to have to wait on that. So it's going to have to be a Miho. Now the question is, do I continue on with Fire Miho, right? Now, there is something to be said for making an Evo 2 of a different element than the one you've already created. So if you know you're going to make a Fire Evo, or sorry, a Fire Miho Evo 3, if you know that's what your goal is, you don't have to make, 4 Evo 2 Fire Mihos to turn them into a Fire Miho Evo 3. You can make a Fire Miho Evo 2, a Water Miho Evo 2, and a Wood Miho Evo 2, and then feed those into whichever one you want. And the reason you want to do that is because of this Astro Guide. You get Astro Gem rewards for every new monster you discover, and that includes Evos. Okay, so why do a bunch of Fire Mihos when you could mix it up and do one of each? Even if you don't plan on taking a Water Miho to Evo 3 or a Wood Miho to Evo 3, at the very least, you can get them to Evo 2 and get those free Astro Gems. So I recommend switching it up. If you've got enough copies of a monster to make an Evo 3, you don't necessarily always have to stick with the same element. Go ahead and get those free Astro Gems. Okay, make a fire one, a wood one, and a water one, and then just feed them all into whichever element you prefer. But just because I'm not planning on making a water one doesn't mean I can't make an Evo 2 water one just to get those free Astro Gems. Okay, so go ahead and mix up the elements. I do recommend that. But that's not why I'm making the Water Miho. That would be a good reason to do it, but the reason I'm making a Water Miho Evo 2 is because I actually plan on using her. Okay, so there is an argument for making a Fire Miho. Okay, she has Attack Down, which is great. Attack Down will help, and it's an 80% chance, all right, which is great. But if we look at Arthur, his is at a 70% chance, almost as much, only a 10% difference, okay? Also, he's actually going to be using this skill 2 pretty often, so it's not like he's never going to get a chance to actually try and land this debuff on the boss. If you're concerned about preventing boss damage with an attack down, then he does the job just fine, because with a 50% SP boost every time he attacks with this skill 1, he's going to be using skill 2 pretty often. So this attack down from Arthur is going to be applying to the boss pretty often. So I don't need a Fire Miho for the attack down. Arthur does the job just fine, okay? The HP Siphon, which is a kind of team heal, is nice. But it's in proportion to the amount of damage dealt, which means you need to build Miho for damage. But what's the problem with building a Fire Miho for damage? She's a tank. She does not have an attack stat that's very high. Most of the stats in a tank monster goes to their HP, okay? In order to boost her attack stat, I'd have to use flat attack gems. Percentage attack gems aren't going to do much. Hold on. Here we go. Oh no, I actually don't have a percentage attack gem on her because it doesn't make much sense. But let's see here. No, goodness. Okay, so I'm really playing to my strengths here. I don't really have very many attacker Astromons, so it doesn't make sense to put an attack percentage rune unless it's on an attacker Astromon. So look, it says attacker up here. The attack stat on attacker Astromons are higher. They're about the only Astromon it makes sense to put an attack percentage gem on. So for the most part, I'm trying to use other stats that are going to be more beneficial, right? I'm going to get more out of it, so to speak. So, basically, Fire Miho, back to the point. I can't put attack percentage runes on her or gems on her. It won't be very effective. I would have to use flat attack gems, such as this one, which is good. But I'd have to put so many flat attack gems on her to get enough damage out of her skill 2 to be a decent heal, that she would then be not nearly as tanky as she could be. And I also would not be benefiting from her natural disposition. So if her natural stats are geared towards HP, it makes sense to buff the stat that she has the most. A percentage HP gem on her will get me twice as much stats as a flat attack gem would. And even then, if all I do is flat attack gems, her damage is not going to be nearly as high as an attacker type, okay, with percentage attack gems on. So you got to play to your strengths, and you got to understand what certain mons are good at. So Fire Miho, she can do some team healing with her second skill. But another reason why you can't really necessarily depend on her to heal your team is because A, you'd have to build her for damage, and that's not a good idea with her. You can't really build her for damage. It's better to capitalize on her HP stat. Okay, another reason is because she does not have SP Siphon. She will not be using skill 2 very often. I'm telling you, if she doesn't get lucky with blue orbs, she could use it hardly at all, right? And everyone else gets the blue orbs and they use their ultimate skills, and she hardly ever uses hers, then her team heal never happens, even if you built her for damage. So because she doesn't have an SP gain skill on skill 1, which means she uses this second skill very often, you can't depend on this skill to go off. It's going to be RNG. It may never happen. So you can't depend on the skill to go off, and if you build her for damage, it's not the best build for her. So that's the reasons and also not reasons to use Fire Miho. Okay, so I'm going to be using Water Miho instead. She's balanced. She has a higher attack stat than she does as a tank. Okay, so she's going to have less HP than a tank, but she's also going to have higher defense, maybe, and higher attack. Definitely higher attack. But okay, so that being said, this version of Miho will gain more from attack stats. All right, so there's that. Also, look at her skills. She has a 100% chance to inflict sap on the enemy for 2 turns. That is absolutely fantastic against bosses. So against the waves, she's not going to be doing much. She's not going to be a wave clearer. Again, she doesn't have an SP gain skill, so she's not going to be doing damage against the entire enemy team very often. So she's not my wave clearer. I'm using her mainly for boss damage with sap. Okay, so I'm going to get a decent amount out of that. Also, when I take her into Golem 8, the first Golem dungeon I plan on farming, it is Fire Element. So if I take Water Element into that dungeon, Water Element is going to survive longer. It's going to be tankier, and it's going to do more damage. So by taking in the opposite element to a boss fight, or basically any fight in this game, it lowers the gem quality requirement. She doesn't have to be Evo 3 necessarily, although she will be. And she doesn't have to be level 60. So let's say I took Fire Miho. Because she's the same element as the monsters and the boss, she'll take more damage than the Water Miho. So even though she's tankier, it evens out. My Water Miho will survive just as long with less HP as the Fire Miho does with more HP, because the Fire Miho will take more damage. Another thing to consider is, what if the Fire Miho is the only fire monster I've got on my team? What if I've got a Water Persephone, a Water Arthur, and let's say another water monster? Let's say I take Water Mona, and then the Fire Miho is the only fire monster on the team. Guess what? She's going to have to be built full tank. Otherwise, she's just going to die in the first wave. So if the enemy monsters are fire, and 3 of the members on your team are water and only 1 is fire, all of the monsters on the enemy team are always going to focus the Fire Miho. And the reason why is because they go after the target they can deal the most damage to. It's just the way the game is coded. So this is called off-element tanking, and it's a useful strategy for lowering the gem requirement or gem quality or level requirement on the rest of your monsters. I don't have to build Mona as tanky because she won't ever be taking damage. I can put all of my tank gems and not even use Miho for damage. This is a viable strategy if you want to do this, by the way. You can build full tank on Fire Miho, or even take a wood monster, which would be even more likely to attract the enemy's attention, because it's going to be the opposite element, and they're going to be like, ooh, I can do extra damage to that monster, always attack that monster, okay? So you can take an off-element tank, right? You're intentionally giving the enemy something to target, right? So it's going to keep their attention off of your other monsters. So you can build your other monsters more for damage, knowing that they're not going to be getting hit. And you know that the other monster that is the off element is the one they're going to be focusing, so you build them full tank. It's a strategy for tanking that allows you to know which member of your team the enemy is going to be targeting. Okay, so you can take Fire Miho into Golem 8 with 3 water heroes or monsters and know who they're going to be targeting and just kind of meta game it that way. But I prefer Water Miho for the sap damage. I don't need the attack down. The heal is unreliable. I feel like Water Miho is going to do a lot more damage than Fire Miho. Also, I plan on taking a full water team. I'm not going to have any off elements. I'm not going to have an off element tank. I'm just going to take a full water team and be done with it. I could take this guy. I'm going to test him and see if he's worth taking, see if he's worth building for you guys. You could choose to build him, or you could choose to build the wood one. If you build the wood version of the squirrel, then you get a defense down, which is a nice skill to have. The defense down does make it easier to take out enemy bosses. It makes your kill time a little faster, so that's nice. This guy's done fine for me. I have no problem with him. I like this guy, and I could take him if I wanted to. But I do plan on taking Water Mona, Water Miho, Water Arthur, and Water Persephone into Golem 8. Alright, so that's my current plan, full water team. But I just want to give you the strategies behind choosing which monsters you're going to raise as a new player, and feeling like you're getting full use out of your choice. Because there's nothing worse than spending the effort to raise something and then just never using it again. And it's useless and it just sits in your box. All it did was get you some Astro Gems, which Astro Gems are nice. But, you know, as a new player especially, you want to feel like you're making progress. And there's nothing worse than feeling stuck and like your bad choices of monsters to raise and use and put effort into has made it so that you can't progress. Okay, so that's one of the worst feelings, and I'm trying to help you guys prevent that by giving you all the tools you need to make the right choices for how to progress your account. Okay, so full water team. I recommend going with Water Persephone, Water Arthur, Water Mona, and Water Miho. However, the game does give you enough copies of Water Mona to where you could take 2 Water Monas instead and then have a lot better wave clear and a lot more damage. So Water Mona will always do more damage than Water Miho. Alright, I'm just trying to leverage as many copies as the game gives you of Miho because they give you a lot. I won't use a Fire Miho, right? And I won't use a Wood Miho. I mean, I might use a Wood Miho, but I don't like Wood Miho very much either. Of all the Miho versions I'm likely to use, the Water Miho is the most likely one. So, rather than farm Monas forever, trying to get 2 Evo 3 Water Monas, I can get into the Golem faster and easier if I just make sure I've got a team that doesn't rely on 3 or 4 Monas, right? So, trying to leverage what the game is giving me for free, so I can move forward and progress in my account as fast as possible, alright? So, let's go ahead and Evo this Miho. There we go. I have a Water Miho. Excellent. Evo 2. And now I only need 6 more copies of Miho. Right? Because I've got an Evo 2 already that I'll feed into her. Actually, I need less than that. I've got 3 Miho copies right here. And if you click on them, and you click Evolve, you can see how many you have. Because they'll all pop up down here if they're Evo 1. So I've got 3 Evo 1 Water or Fire Mihos. I need 1. Plus 4 more, I need 5 more copies of Miho, and I will have an Evo 3 Water Miho. So perfect. I'm going to start using her and leveling her now. So I'm going to unequip this gear. Or do I even need to? I've got a lot of gear now. Hold on. If I go to manage items, look at all this gear I got. This is the next thing I wanted to talk about. This is 5-star gear with good stats. Nah, I don't need to take it off. I'll just raise up new gear. This is 4-star gear. I've got 5-star gear I can put on my Water Miho. So I'll leave my Fire Miho with gems for now. I'll take them off, put them on somebody else when it's time to Evo 3 my Water Miho so they don't get consumed. You know what I mean? Alright, so that's decided. Next I wanted to show you runes, or gems, sorry. Here in this missions, right, I've progressed quite far. I just finished Star Sanctuary on normal, and now it's pushing me back through and completing everything on hard. But I just finished all the way up to Star Sanctuary on normal, so let's go all the way back. I want to show you guys right here. I think this is it. Yes. So you get these gem sets, right? We've already gotten 4-star gem sets, right? Now, when you start getting to Pagos Coast, you get your first 5-star gem chest. It says 4-star him, or it's 4-star gem right here, but it's actually 5-star gems. So these are really nice. They have 4 substats, 5 stars, and they are HP percent, attack percent, defense percent, crit rate, flat attack, flat defense, I mean flat HP. So everything you want, every different... It doesn't matter if you have full square slots or not, you are going to be able to fully gem with really good gems all of your monsters, guys. So this is new. This is new with this newest update. They are really trying hard to help with being free-to-play friendly and new players being able to progress in the game easily without too much trouble. This is awesome. So you get really nice gems. You don't need to go and farm Golems 8 for days to get nice gems to gem your monsters anymore. That used to be a requirement. It's not a requirement anymore. I mean, there's still some validity to doing that strategy, but you're not going to have to wait until that point to have good gems. They give you good gems that you can use that's going to make progression in the game a lot faster and easier. Alright, so go ahead and do these quests, progress through the story missions, and you're going to get some nice 5-star gems out of it. Right, so that's not a gem chest. I mean, it is, but you only get 1 gem, and it's random. Where's the next one? Here we go. Gem of Ferocity. Just got these recently. Okay, so once you get those gym sets, right? Gym set quest. Oh goodness, I can't talk today. Gym sets from chests. Thank you. Let's go to your monsters, and we're going to talk about which gems to put on which monsters. Persephone, I've already talked about. To leverage this heal, I need as much max HP as possible, so I took the 5-star gems, and I made sure they were HP percent, and they did not have an HP percentage choice for the triangle, so I went with flat HP instead. But I'm just basically trying to get as much HP as possible, so I made them all plus 12. All right, plus 12. It's not worth it to plus 15 these gems, I don't think yet, because it costs so much gold. I have spent well over 2 million gold. I've spent probably 2.5 million gold enhancing all the gems on my monsters. Most of my gems on my monsters are at plus 9. Yeah, I've already got full plus 9 gems on all my monsters. In fact, because of Persephone and me trying to get this heal increased, I've got plus 12 gems. So I've already spent well over 2.5 million gold on enhancing gems. It's very expensive, guys. So going to plus 15 would bankrupt me, and I probably wouldn't even be able to get a full set. So it's not worth it. Just go to plus 12 at the most, and even then you might want to stop at plus 9. You might not have the gold. So I've got 2.2 million gold from all the questing and rewards and everything they give you as a new player. So if I hadn't spent any gold, I'd probably have over 5 million by now. But anyways, I've got 2.2 right now. I'm going to spend that enhancing these gems. So we're going to talk about what I'm putting on my monsters. I don't think I want to replace any of her gems. Her gems are good to go. Like I said, there's no percentage HP options on the triangles. You can see that it's only flat HP. So she's good to go. There's really nothing else I can put on her that's going to be good. So I'm going to look at what I can do to the other monsters that I've got on my team. Before that, let's go into manage items. This is how I recommend selling off your gems to create room in your gem box, so it's easier to get to the gems that you want, and also you get free gold out of it, okay? Go to manage items, right up here, and then I would sort by grade, okay? You can sort by grade, or you can sort by color, right? Or you could sort by recent, but for this, I recommend sorting by grade. Get rid of everything below 4 stars, okay? So we're only interested in those gem sets that they gave us because they are so good. We're not going to bother using any of these low gems. I don't care what set they are. It doesn't matter. We're getting rid of everything below 4 stars. So everything 3-star and below we're getting rid of. We're going to sell them all. This is the easiest way to sell off your gems. I know it's... Actually, hold on. I can't believe. All right, never mind. 1, 2, 3. There you go. So it's getting rid of everything 3-star and below for me. I don't have to click on all of them. You can just click these down here. Sell selected. I'm getting 193,000 gold. Boom. Now look, this is my box. And these are the gem sets that they give you as a new player. So in addition to a few extra that I got from various rewards, like this one they didn't give me, I got this as a reward, probably from a gym chest from doing bingo for the day or something like that. Another one right here. So, but for the most part, these are, you know, gems that I got from those chests that you also are going to get. So anyways, I'm going to gem up my monsters. We're going to spend some gold, and I'm going to show you guys after the fact how much I spent and what I was able to accomplish. All right, so be right back. All right, guys. So really quick, I wanted to show you something here. The difference between a +9 and a +12 is only about 7.5%, not even full 8%. That's not very much. So if you've got better substats on... and that's the same between a 9-star or between a 4-star and a 5-star. It's about a 7% HP difference between a 4-star and a 5-star. So if you've got a +12 4-star and a +9 5-star, the difference between those two main stats is only going to be about 6 to 7%. So it's not very much. A good example of that is right here. No, hold on. I don't see a 5-star that I can compare it with. So I saw this recently. I can't remember where. No. Okay. So it's difficult to compare that, but I can try and compare that right now with a replacement that I'm going to do. Let's do flat attack. Here we go. This is flat attack 5-star with good substats. I'm going to go ahead and raise this up. and be right back to show you the difference. Alright, so I just finished taking this 5-star to +9, and as you can see, it rolled recovery, which is a worthless stat, but it did roll crit damage, and then at +9 it went into crit damage again. So this is a good rune so far, or good gem I should say. And here's the difference, guys. On a flat attack gem, you're only looking at 76 additional flat attack from the 5-star at the same enhancement level. So it's not that big of a difference. It is a difference, right? It's, how should I put it? It's worth the upgrade if the substats are good enough. But this is the point I'm trying to get to. I'm considering increasing this +9% attack, right? Because it's a 5-star. But look at this, guys. It's got double recovery. I'm actually thinking I don't want to use this gem. Because it's got double recovery. It makes it kind of not worth it at all. If it had better substats here, then I'd consider it. Another thing that I wanted to show you guys is the Gem of Ferocity gems that you get from the chests as rewards for new players are the worst of the set. The defense is slightly better, and these are the best. And the reason why is the number of substats. So every Gem of Ferocity you get from the 5-star gem chest is only going to have 2 substats, guys. It's the least of all of them. Alright, and then the defense set, the Gem of Fortitude, you get 3 substats, slightly better. The Gem of Tenacity, 4 substats. Alright, so unfortunately, for some reason, they're not equal. So right now, as it stands, they might adjust this. I don't know why they did that, and they might adjust this. But right now, the gems they give you as a new player, the Tenacity gems are the best because you have the most substats, okay? But second, you can consider doing the Gem of Fortitude because it has 3 substats and that's better. But I'm not going to use this gem at all because not only is it double recovery, it also only has two substats when I could use something that has 4 or 3. So when you're enhancing your gems that they give you as a free player, you're deciding what to put on your monsters, keep that in mind. The substats really are important. And the reason why is because the way this works, if you've got free spots here, every time you enhance it to +3, it adds another substat until you get to 4. And then every subsequent third upgrade after that, you get an increase to one of your existing substats. So here, on the Gem of Ferocity, I'd have to upgrade it to +6 to get 4 substats. And then at +9, it would increase one of them, and at +12, it would increase one of them, okay? At +15, it does not increase the substat, it just increases the main stat. But getting it to +15 is very expensive on your gold. You'll fail a lot trying to get there. So, it's better to start with 4 substats because every time you go to +3, it increases one of the existing substats. So you just get more stats overall, a lot more stats. So if all of them went into flat HP as I increased this, by the time I was done, this flat HP would be really high, as much as a rune by itself, or as much as a single gem by itself. So starting with 4 substats on 5 and 6-star gems can really help to get those extra stats, guys. And that's why I'm not going to be using this Gem of Ferocity. So keep that in mind when you're using your gems as a free-to-play player. The recovery set. I don't like recovery as a stat. Recovery is largely useless, but if you're doing a broken set because you want full crit rate, let's say you've got a dark monster that has a 100% crit damage, because all dark monsters in the game have 100% crit damage, and you should aim for getting their crit rate up to take advantage of that if you can. You want square slots, because square slots are the only gems that can roll crit rate. So for every dark monster you have, for the most part, you absolutely want at least 1 square slot, preferably at least 2. So let's say you got lucky as a new player. You pulled a dark monster and you have 100% crit damage. It's an attack monster. You want it to do lots of damage. You're going to come in here. You're going to hope you have square slots, and you're going to be raising these crit gems. And because you don't have enough crit gems of the same type, you won't be getting a set bonus. So in cases like that, the substat or the set bonus down here doesn't matter that much. So you can go ahead and use the recovery set because you're not looking for that anyways. Okay, so you can use this crit rate gem and it'll be fine. All right, if you're looking to triple down on attack, or if you're looking to triple down on HP, right, and you're not looking at this, then go ahead and don't worry about using a recovery set. The set bonus down here doesn't matter because all you care about is the substats and the main stat. So you can absolutely do broken sets and get a lot out of that. The problem is all of these gems that are given to us as new players, none of the diamond spots are HP percent. Flat HP is all you get. Okay, it doesn't matter what set you're looking at, it's flat HP. So over here, I didn't go with a broken set because I couldn't get HP percent on the triangle anyways, right? So because I couldn't find a triangle five star with HP percent, I just went ahead and used flat HP and went for the plus 2500 HP here. Okay, so you know, you just gotta make the best choice that you can with what you've got, but you're gonna have the same gems that I'm working with on your account. They're going to be the same for every new player. So seeing how I'm using my gems, the stats I'm using, what I'm choosing to put on my monsters should give you an indication of what's a good choice for your monsters as well. So I spent a little bit of gold, as you can see, about almost 300 plus, about 800,000. I spent 800,000 gold, just about. And these are the stats that my Arthur has now. He's level 25, and I've got flat HP. Unfortunately, this is double recovery, but it rolled resist and attack as well. It's a 4-star, but the 5-star that I've got left, if I want to take advantage of the Gem of Tenacity set bonus, is a defense. And I don't want defense percentage on him. I'd rather have something better. So he's got flat HP. He's got flat attack, 5-star. Rolled very well. Attack, defense, and crit rate. Right here I've got the attack percentage, and it also rolled very well with tank stats, so good to go. He's got good stats here. He's going to be fine. Again, you know what my Water Persephone is doing. I don't have any better triangle gems that I could use to replace this one. Because it has double recovery, it's not the best, but there's nothing I could replace it with if I want to keep this 2500 HP set bonus, and I do. So I'm going to be keeping that as it is. So anyways, that's what I'm working with here. If you're wondering what I'm doing with my extra gems, okay, so I've got these gems that I'm replacing because I've used them and I'm not using them on new monsters. Well, I'm going to be putting them on some other stuff, right? So I'm going to have an Evo 3 Mona. I'm going to have an Evo 3 Miho. The game gives you enough to make multiple Evo 3 versions of Mona and multiple Evo 3 versions of Miho. So I'll put my extra gems that I've grown out of on them, you know. So I might keep gems on this guy. So it makes sense to have multiple gem sets on multiple monsters because of Titans, Golem teams with different elements. You're going to be going over here into the elemental dungeons, right? And there's going to be a real problem. Hold on. There's going to be a real problem when you're doing the element dungeons farming because the waves of monsters are all of the same element here. In the golems later on, as we do the golems are not necessarily the same element as the boss. If the boss is light type, the golems, or not the golems, if the golem is light type, then the waves of enemies you fight going up to that boss might not also be light. They might be dark, okay? They might be fire. But here in Golem 8, I do believe they're all the same. But when you get up here to Golem 10, it's waves of dark monsters. So your fire, wood, water monsters don't matter as much. You can use almost any element you want and it's fine because it's waves of dark monsters. So you're going to have multiple teams of different elements to fit different needs. If you're going in here with a full team of dark monsters, if they're not tanky enough, they're going to get slaughtered because they take extra damage. So if you're trying to farm for instance, on Water Day, and you're going into the Water Elemental Dungeon, and you've got a fire team, they're going to get slaughtered because they're weak to that boss and they're weak to all the waves of enemies. So if you've got a lot of really strong fire monsters, you're going to have real problems trying to farm for element enhancement stones for your Mona. A water Mona, you're going to have a hard time leveling that up because you don't have the right monsters to farm the water dungeon. So it makes sense to have multiple sets of gems that you can put on multiple elements to satisfy different farming for elements, dungeons, and golems and whatnot. Okay, so don't feel bad about raising up gems and then not using them. Okay, I've got these old gems. That's okay. I will find monsters to use them on. That's okay. They're good gems. They worked for me for a while. So if you're trying to use gems, but you're also trying to save gold, leave them at +9. Okay, going from +9 to +12 costs a lot of gold, but taking them to +9 isn't too bad. So if you're trying to save gold, just take them to +9 and leave them there. But if you're trying to, you know, make your monsters as strong as possible, like you're trying to make your first golem team, then take them to +12. Use the 5-star gems. So anyways, this rolled pretty well with crit rate, attack, and crit damage. And I'm going to go ahead and take this to +12. This is a good gem. And we'll go from there, guys. And I'm going to go ahead and make sure my monsters are all gemmed up. My main team I'm going to be raising for now is the Miho. I'm also going to be using the Squirrel until I can get an Evo 2 or Evo 3 Water Mona, and then I'll switch to the Water Mona. So that'll be the team I raise. I keep harping on this. I keep talking about the main team I'm focusing on because as a new player, it takes a lot longer to progress the more effort you put into all of your monsters. If you focus heavily and you know what team you want to do, then I'm not wasting time leveling up and putting effort into all these other monsters. I know exactly what monsters I'm going to use to progress, so I'm going to make much faster progress than somebody who's all over the place, right? And so that's part of the reason I keep talking about this and talking about which monsters I'm choosing, because for you guys as new players coming in, it's important to make these choices, to pick your monsters and stick with them, raise them up and use them. Because if you've got 15 Evo 2 monsters, when you could have had 4 Evo 3 monsters, you won't be making as much progress. Okay, so it makes sense to focus on one team to get as far as you can with that team and then branch out to different elements. But focus, right? If you're spreading your resources too thin across all your monsters, then you're not going to be able to make as much progress. Okay, so this is really important because in my last account, I had progression problems. I have gotten much further on this account in less time than I did on my previous account because I'm so focused. I summoned a lot. I used all of the Astro Gems I had on my previous account on summoning. I had to constantly use my gold to increase my monster box. Okay, I had to spend 100,000 a pop just to get 5 slots. I had increased it by like 120, up to 120. That's a lot of gold, guys. I'm using my gold this time around on enhancing my gems. So I'm talking about gems and how much it costs and choices because I would rather you use your gold, enhancing your gems, making your first monster team that you take into your first golem dungeon very strong, okay? And save that gold and use that for that. Level them up because it costs 1,000,000 gold. Let's say if I'm going to ascend to 6-star, it takes these resources, which takes a long time to farm, and then it costs 1,000,000 gold for each person. So to ascend my entire first team to 6-star is going to cost me 4,000,000 gold just to do the ascension, not including anything else. I don't have enough for that. Okay, so if I spend all my time Evo 2ing a bunch of Nat 4s that I found to save space, and then increasing my monster box. So on my previous account, I had no gold. I was always out of gold. I didn't have enough to +12 my gems. So long story short, I didn't make very much progress. It took me a long time. It was a struggle. But this time around, I'm having a much easier time. And so I'm trying to make that happen for you guys as well. Spend your gold smartly. Be aware of how expensive it is to ascend your characters. Even taking this guy to 4-star is going to cost 100,000. Taking a 4-star to 5-star costs 300,000. Okay, so it's very expensive to ascend. It gets very expensive to enhance your gems. So focus on your main team first. Spend your gold on them. All right. Hold off on summoning if your monster box is full. Don't spend all your gold and then summon everything and then just have nothing left for your team to enhance them. Make sure your team is good to go before you go and spend all of your Astro Gems summoning and then have to spend your gold elsewhere. So that's my advice. I think that's really good advice. But I'm going to go ahead and continue from here. What else did I want to show you guys in this video today? We already did this. So look, I got my Evo 2 Miho, right? I did not evolve my Arthur. I did not use the ticket. All I did was use copies of Miho to get an Evo 2 Miho, and that satisfied this quest, guys. So that's proof that you don't need to evolve Arthur to get the quest completion. You can do it to any monster and get the quest completion. So I got that. That's going to be a trinket that I can now put on my Arthur. And now I'm going to upgrade those trinkets that I've got to +10, so Arthur's going to be even stronger. Then I'll be able to complete Mirage Ruins on normal, which I think I'm very close to. If I haven't done it yet, I'm very close to it. Let me check. Mirage Ruins. No, it's... Where is it? Yeah, it's over here. Wow, so it's very close. Okay, so complete Mirage Ruins on normal. That's very close. Almost done with that. I mean, I've already done that, so I shouldn't be... I shouldn't have a hard time completing this trinket quest. So anyways, I come here, I get this second ticket, I'm going to save that, but to satisfy this quest right here, I will evolve probably my Miho to Evo 3, or my Mona to Evo 3, and that'll complete that quest, and we'll just we'll finish this whole quest line, and we'll hold on to those tickets for our Light Arthur at the end of week 2 from the contract. So anyways, what else I want? Oh yeah, before I make any other changes, before I do anything else, let's go ahead and do this. I wanted to show you guys how far I can get with my current team in the Starstone Dungeon. I'm very underleveled, right? So in the past, without the gym quality that I have right now, I would have a very hard time coming in here and completing this. So let's see how I do. I'm level 28. It's my highest level. Let's see what level of monsters I'm going against here. Alright, so these are all light monsters, level 40. Almost twice my level. Let's see if I can complete this. Alright, so they have me out-leveled by a lot, but because I've spent so much gold enhancing my gems, my monsters are in a lot better shape than they normally would be. So if you're having problems progressing, and you're like, they're too high level, no, as you can see, they're not too high level. I can do it, and they have me way out-leveled. The difference is how much effort and resources I've spent upgrading the gems for my current team. It's making a big difference. Along with the healing from Persephone, man. She just carries the team. She's healing, I think, close to 4,000 a hit. It's crazy. Watch the green number. Yeah, 3,399, 3,400 every turn she heals. That's insane. Also, keep in mind that I've made my teams really tanky. So the gems that I chose to enhance and put on my teams, a lot of them were HP percentage, flat HP. I'm not just going full attack. I'm not going attack, 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 or attack crit rate, or all crit rate, right? I'm actually putting a lot of HP on my monsters and making sure they're tanky. That's important. You do want your monsters to be tanky. You won't get as much benefit out of attack percentage gems until your monsters are high level. Okay, so don't go full attack at this stage. Your monsters don't have enough stats to take advantage of that anyways. I think you're better off making sure they have a good mix of tankiness from HP and attack. That's my advice. Make sure your monsters are sufficiently tanky. You can, of course, put some attack gems on your monsters, but I would not go full attack. I'd have at least one HP gem on your monsters, even if they are your attack monsters, right? Even if their kit doesn't revolve around full max HP like Persephone's, it still makes sense to make sure your monsters are tanky enough. So we're going to complete this, and we're grossly under-leveled for this section of the dungeon. So that should have been challenging, but because of our gem quality, it wasn't too difficult. Also, we've got good wave clear with that Arthur, man. That Arthur's very strong. That 50% SP gain on his first skill makes it so that he uses his wave clear pretty often. So that's really helping. So let's try Starstone Dungeon B8 with our current team. A level 25 Arthur. The level difference is going to be even bigger this time. They are now level 45. We might actually not complete this one. We're going to have to see how bad it is. Alright, so he's ready to use his wave clear already on turn 3. And then the rest of the team's going to be ready with theirs. But they just got their ultimates. Let's see how much damage they do. Ooh! I just lost my Arthur. Okay, so that was bad. Looks like I may... Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and quit this. There's no way I can complete it without Arthur. So, unfortunately, could not do Dungeon version 8. I just need to level up a bit more. But, you know, honestly, if I went back to the airship and I fed Arthur a bunch of fruits and got him 10 levels, that probably wouldn't happen. I'd be able to complete this. So that was a good indication of choosing the right gems for your monsters and choosing the right monster team, what it can do. Let's take a look at the Ancient Dungeon. So as part of the quests, it has you clear some Golem dungeons. On my previous account, I didn't have a strong team, and so I struggled here, guys. I struggled to complete these without friends. But this time around, I haven't used a friend once in here, and I've completed all these with my regular team. This last one, Dungeon 5 or Golem 5, was very difficult. The monsters are pretty high in level now at this point. And yeah, my Arthur almost died a couple of times. So I don't think I can complete Golem 6, but we're going to try it. What? He's light. Okay, so there won't be an element disadvantage. So hopefully, because there's no element disadvantage, I'll be able to complete it. We'll see. Let's see how difficult or how easy it is. I want to show you guys the power that your team is capable of and how efficiently you can clear if you put effort into your main team without spreading it all over the place like I did. So landing those attack downs is going to help. It's going to definitely help keep my team alive. Unfortunately, they're taunted, and when they're taunted, they don't use their ultimate skills and their wave clear. So it's going to take a while, and because everyone gets their ultimates, they're going to do a lot of damage to my team. This is actually really bad. It's not looking good at all. Looking like I just don't have the damage to take them out. But my monsters are sufficiently tanky that we're lasting a lot longer than I thought we would. Look at that. Okay, so the petrification from oh, I just lost my Fire Miho. That's bad. So it looks like I can't do this, guys. But as you can see, honestly, I'm pretty close. I'm pretty close. Honestly, if I was just max level with these guys, if these were 4-star instead of 3-star, and if they were max level 40, and if these guys were leveled up past like level 40, not even level 50, probably be able to complete this with my current team. Not even, you know, better gems or anything. Just a few levels would do it. So, yeah. So I want to show you guys that so you can get a clear indication where you're at. If you're similar team, right? If you have similar levels, similar gems, as you probably will, because we're all getting the same free stuff as new players, then you're going to have a good indication of where you're supposed to be at a certain time in the game, right? If you can see, I've cleared this much of the game. This is my monster team. Why am I not succeeding? Well, you can watch this video. You can see me fail at what point I have, and you can see what I've completed so far. You can be like, oh, okay, so I'm right on track. That makes sense. Right, there's nothing worse than the feeling that you've made some bad decisions. Like this thought in the back of your mind, I failed this mission just now because my monsters aren't strong enough because I made a bad choice. No, not necessarily. I've done everything I can correctly, and I still can't get past Golem 6. I still need to power up my team, okay? So if you're having problems, go ahead and use me as a reference guide. If I can't get past it at this point in the game, unless you've gotten really lucky with some 5-star Nat 5 summons, you probably will be having some difficulty as well at this part in the game. So just a good indication of where you should be at a certain time. We're at about 45 minutes here, guys. I kind of want to wrap things up. There's more things to talk about, but I did hit on saving those tickets from the trinket, or not from the trinkets, from the Arthur quest, saving those tickets. Okay, don't use them on the Arthur. Save them for your light Arthur from the contract. I did hit on that, which is really important. I talked about the gems that we get from the missions and how good they are, how to use them. I talked about how to sell off your lower level gems that you're not going to use, get free gold. It's very easy, very nice. Right, I talked about choosing which monsters to evo and evoing different elements, so that way you get free Asto gems from the Asto guide. Yeah, so I showed you my progress so far. I don't really think there's much else to talk about. I think the next time I bring up a video for you guys to start recording is when I start progressing with my current team into golems. Alright, so what I'm going to be doing until you see me again in the next video is I'm going to be farming for Mona. Alright, so I'm going to be doing this quest, and I do want to show this at the end of this video. This is pretty important, actually. This quest is going to be difficult to do. The appearance rate for Mona is going to be pretty low. You can farm this stage literally for several days, all day. Literally have your phone playing this game for hours, all stinking day, doing nothing but farming Pagos Coast, okay? And still not complete this stupid quest because you won't see enough Monas, and when you do see them, you won't be able to capture them because the rate is too low, and you'll fail on capturing them over and over and over. And that can be very frustrating when you're trying to farm Mona for your first Golem 8 team. So, big tip here. I hope you guys haven't checked out and left the video already. Oh, what do I need to show you? Oh, here in your mailbox. I have saved these because this is when you want to use them. Okay, so you can actually accept this from the mail. You don't have to leave it in the mail. You don't use it by accepting it in the mail. It just stays in your inventory and you get a chance to use it later. So anyways, I have saved all of these experience up and monster appearance rate up things in my mailbox. Okay, let's go ahead and accept that from the temp storage. We got that trinket from the Arthur quest. All right, so now when you're going to be farming Pagos Coast for your Mona, that's when you want to pop the experience, and that's when you want to pop the monster appearance rate up. Okay, you're going to be doing that for a long time, trying to farm the Mona, trying to complete that quest. Pop these. Make sure you space it out so you're not wasting them, and it's going to make it a lot easier. Next step, after you've used those, hopefully you've saved them up until this point. Okay, you want to save them up until you get to Pagos Coast, and then you want to use them to get Monas. Now what you want to do is you want to come here and you want to go into a mission. Okay, you can't see it from just looking at it from here on the map. You have to go into a mission, and when you're in this preparation screen here, you're going to see this catch rate. This increases the catch rate for every mission on, hold on, let's go down to normal. Right, so I'm going to go into EXP bonus, okay, and I'm going to increase this. You're going to see a bonus. We're going to spend 5,000 gold, and we're going to do it for Pagos Coast right here. Okay, so we increased it by 1%. Now, if we leave this and we go up here to the gold bonus, you can still see the bonus. So for every section, or I guess every mission within the Pagos Coast, you now have that capture rate bonus. Now, if we go to hard, I still have the bonus. So don't feel like if you upgrade it here, it's only for this area. It's for the entire Pagos Coast, guys. Every mission in the Pagos Coast. So go ahead and come here, click Pagos Coast, and spend some gold. I recommend spending at least 300,000 or 400,000. You want to get it probably up to plus 10%. Alright, we're going to take it up to plus 12. How much more is it? Oh, goodness, it went up to 320,000 for 3% more. Is it worth it? In the long run, maybe, yeah. Because you have a chance of seeing, very rarely, but you can still see them. Especially when you're using those things from your mail, which increases the legendary monster appearance rate. You can see plenty of these Anubises pop up as you're doing your farming during the day. And you'll miss most of them because the capture rate is so low unless you have this fully upgraded. Same with the Mihos, right? So you're not just going to be getting Monas. You're going to be farming for Monas, but Monas aren't going to be all you see. You're also going to see Mihos, and you're also going to see Anubis. So it might be worth it to spend your gold here. In fact, I think I will. I'm going to go ahead and spend my gold here, increasing this capture rate, so that way I can capture any Anubises I see and any Mihos I see. Let's see. That's expensive, though. I'm leery to do this again. Oh, that's so much gold, guys. But it's 5% catch rate. Okay. I'm just going to bite the bullet. I'll do it for the video. I'll do it for you guys. Here we go. I'm going to spend 640,000 gold on 5% catch rate. But that means any Anubis that pops up, I'll likely have a much higher chance to catch the Anubis. So I just used all my gold, unfortunately. That really sucks, but I've got good gem sets on my monsters, not really worried about that, and I'll be getting plenty of gold as I complete all my story quests. So that gold will come back, and I'll be selling all my low-level gems that I get, so it's not too bad. So I just spent all that extra gold I got, and I have plus 20% capture rate. Any Anubises that pop up, I'll get them, guys, and that'll be a really nice, free-to-play friendly way to capitalize on all the time you're going to be spending in an area. If I'm going to be spending so much time farming in this area, that gold is really going to pay for itself when I get a nice Evo 3 Anubis. Okay, look at this. This guy is amazing. He doesn't have SP gain, but he does have a defense down, and this increases damage up by 50% is excellent, okay? He also damages the entire enemy team, so he's kind of a wave clear without an SP gain skill. But he does have defense down, which is great. And he's also water type, so he's going to be great for my team, which is going to be a full water team for a while. If I get an Evo 2 or Evo 3 Anubis, that would be so awesome. So to me, that gold is probably going to be worth it. Yeah, we'll see. But I sure hope so. That was a lot of gold. Anyways, that was my choice. You guys don't have to choose to do that. Obviously, you can save your gold and only get plus 15, maybe plus 12% instead of a full plus 20. Anyways, I think that's it for this video. Some really helpful tips. I hope you guys can make really good, efficient progress in the game as a new player and enjoy yourselves. You might want to hold off on farming Pigos Coast until you get to Pigos Coast Extreme Mode. Okay, but the problem with getting Extreme Mode and unlocking Extreme Mode is you have to complete all of this on Extreme first, right? So you have to complete all these on Hard, and then all these on Extreme, and then finally Pigos Coast opens up on Extreme. Also, I think you have to complete possibly all of this on Hard as well before this opens up on Extreme. So I have a ways to go before Pigos Coast Extreme opens up. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing these quests all the way until I get to Pigos Coast Extreme, which is, hold on, right here. So that's a lot of questing. I got to get to chapter 21 before I complete Pigos Coast on Extreme. And at that point, I will farm Pigos Coast. So maybe I spent my gold a little too early. I'm not quite there yet. But like I said, I'll be getting lots of free gold from these missions anyway, so it'll come right back. So a lot of stuff to do. And then I'm going to be coming in here on the element days. And especially on water element day, I'm going to be farming the crap out of water element day dungeon, trying to get enough ascension materials for my water team to get everyone to level 50 at least. Hopefully level 60 for at least one or two of them. So yeah, gonna focus on leveling the team up, and at that point I'm gonna transition over to the ancient dungeon after I've gotten my first water team up pretty good, and we're gonna tackle Golem 8 and start farming that for those square gems. And those square gems, I'll be looking primarily because I've got a decent gem set already on 5-star. Okay, so I'll be looking for 6-star square gems that are really good substats to replace my current gem sets, and then I'll be strong enough to move to Golems B10, Golems B11, and so on. And by the way, from Golems B10 onward, they are light and dark. Okay, so I don't have I don't worry about element disadvantage. So just because I've got a water team doesn't mean I'm going to hit difficulty here, because there's no wood dungeons, right? There's no wood golems. So because it's light and dark, then I'm going to be fine. No element disadvantage here. So whatever team I use for Golem B8 will also work for Golem B10 and Golem B11. So that's the plan there. Thank you all for watching this video. I will see you in the next one.